Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
How Jaron Kearse's past could help extend his future in Dallas. Safety Jaron Kearse is one of the few Cowboys free agents still left on the open market. The longer he goes unsigned, the chances he might re-up with Dallas increase. One factor that might help get Kearse back with the team is that he still has a potential advocate in Mike Zimmer, who was his first NFL head coach with the Vikings. It's no surprise that Kearse has yet to get a new contract from Dallas. They're well stocked at safety with starters Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson, plus exciting young backups in Marquise Bell and Wanya Thomas. If they even keep a fifth guy, it would probably be someone who can double as a cornerback like Israel Mukuamu. Kearse turned 30 in February and was already looking a step slower last year. He's been an incredible find for Dallas, going from an off-season afterthought in 2021 to being one of the defensive leaders for 3 seasons. But after getting a late start to becoming an impact player, Kearse is unfortunately slowing down just as his career started heating up. Still, the longer he remains a free agent, Kearse's asking price is likely dropping. It's possible that a coach familiar with his work in Dallas, like Dan Quinn in Washington or Aiden Durd in Seattle, might be waiting until after the draft to see if they have a need for him. But the Cowboys also could offer him a chance to return at that point, if nothing else to compete with younger guys and provide some injury insurance. While Kearse has lost some advocates with departing coaches from last year, did he get a new one in Mike Zimmer? When Kearse was a 7th-round pick for the Vikings in 2016, Zimmer was their head coach. Kearse played 4 seasons for Minnesota, all under Zimmer, but only in backup and special teams roles. He didn't blossom as a player until hooking up with Quinn in Dallas. We know that Zimmer has a voice in the Cowboys front office, no doubt influencing the signing of veteran LB Eric Kendricks. But while Kendricks was a star for Zimmer and fills a much-needed spot on Dallas' roster, Kearse was a depth guy in Minnesota and the Cowboys may not have room for him now. Kearse's role under Quinn as a hybrid linebacker on passing downs is unlikely to transition to Zimmer's scheme. But at the very least, Zimmer was the coach who brought Kearse into the NFL. For a 7th-round pick to see all 4 years of his rookie contract is no small accomplishment. Some don't ever even make a roster. If Zimmer still has a fondness for Kearse, maybe he'd find a way to use him at the right price. It takes 2 to tango. Maybe Jaron Kearse doesn't want to return to Dallas only to be Donovan Wilson's backup. Maybe he's already turned down a contract offer from the Cowboys, hoping for more money or opportunity elsewhere. But if Kearse's unemployment continues, who knows what might happen? Dan Quinn might be gone, but Kearse was a Mike Zimmer guy before he ever got to Dallas. Cowboys tabbed top landing spot for polarizing bowling ball RB. Depending on where you look, you'll get some very different versions of how this year's running back class stacks up in the NFL draft. That's especially important for the Cowboys, who could very well be the first team to splurge on a running back on day 2 of the draft. Currently, with running back Tony Pollard having departed in free agency, the Cowboys' running back room is built around 4th-year career backup Rico Dowdle, who was re-signed last month. Projections around whom the Cowboys will select to fill the void vary widely, with Jonathan Brooks of Texas being the top option. Trey Benson and Blake Corum also get mentions. But Bleacher Report is zigging where others are zagging. They're seeing Notre Dame star Audric Estime as the choice for the Cowboys. As the site's Gary Davenport wrote in an article titled, 2024 NFL Draft, Best Landing Spots for Top RBs to Contribute as Rookies. Estime is a capable pass catcher and one of the better pass-protecting backs in this year's class. In other words, he possesses the skill set to be a 3-down back, or at the very least be the lead back in a committee attack. There isn't a team in the NFL with a bigger need in the backfield than Dallas. Audric Estime leaves scouts split, but to be sure, Estime is not a sure thing as an NFL prospect. Far from it, Bleacher Report has him ranked as the top running back in this year's class, and it is easy to see why. He is a big bruiser, a 5'11", 221-pound fireplug who can grind between the tackle, a sort of anti-Pollard in a way. He would make a good tandem with Dowdle in that respect. But Pro Football Focus has Brooks as the top running back in this class, the number 56 player available in the draft. Estime is much, much lower, the number 9 running back and 116th player in the class. Mel Kiper of ESPN is a little more generous to Estime, ranking him number 6 among running backs behind Brooks, Tennessee's Jalen Wright, Benson, Corum, and Marshawn Lloyd of USC. One potential benefit of locking in on Estime is that the Cowboys could, potentially, wait to use a day 3 pick on him. But the issue there is that the Cowboys do not have a 4th-round pick, having sent it to San Francisco in the deal for quarterback Trey Lance last summer. That means, barring a trade, the Cowboys pretty much need to get their running back in the 3rd round, where they possess the number 87 pick. Cowboys had good meeting. Estime's draft stock was severely knocked down by a poor showing in the 40-yard dash at the Combine, when he posted a 4.71 time. A scouting report at the Huddle noted, "He's a bowling ball that can fit nicely into a backfield committee looking for early down help running the ball and breaking the goal line. His lack of speed is concerning at the NFL level and it could be a limitation." His 40 time rated in the bottom 4% of all running backs in Combine history. He later ran a 4.58 at the Notre Dame Pro Day, but a major plus with the NFL Combine is that all the players can be compared to each other in an objective environment. Estime did meet with the Cowboys during the Combine, he said, and CMAE away encouraged. "I just like the energy the Cowboys had," Estime said, per C.com. "They are very energetic guys and had smiles on their faces. I'm a guy that is always smiling and they were smiling right back at me. They are a very football-savvy team that knows a lot about football. I'm a guy who always wants to be informed. I feel like in that system I'll be able to learn every day and maximize my ability." Source reveals Dallas Cowboys QB draft truth. Not the plan to pick Dak Prescott's successor. The Dallas Cowboys are being rumored as a team planning to insure itself against the 2025 free agency loss of Dak Prescott by picking a quarterback in this year's NFL draft. But one source close to the decision-making process tells CowboysSI.com that such a move isn't the plan. This revelation flies in the face ESPN's Adam Schefter naming the Cowboys as a potential sleeper team to take a quarterback early in the draft, though Schefter didn't as much report it as he did gossip about it. The Prescott situation is a tricky one. He is heading into the final year of his contract, though there is a possibility the 30-year-old QB and the Cowboys work out a long-term extension, which had always been the stated plan until owner Jerry Jones' recent remarks about the stalemate causing Dallas to stand pat for the year, leaving its QB to perform as a lame duck, and then freeing him to seek a $60 million APY deal, the number CowboysSI.com has reported he desires, with a new team. The Cowboys currently hold the number 24 overall pick in the 1st round, so while they are not in range for the likes of the top tier of quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels and J.J. McCarthy, the next group, including Michael Penix and Bo Nix, could be in play. Another factor: Dallas traded for Trey Lance last September, so he figures as the future project candidate here, though like Doc and fellow QB Cooper Rush, he's out of contract after 2024. We will note that as always, the Cowboys' thoughts here could change. And as always, they may be throwing chum in the water by dropping misleading hints about their plans. But it seems they believe they might already have the QBs they need, even without the contractual commitments that could make all of this much less tricky.